New Thought writer Joel Goldsmith said, "The activity of God is like a light touching the darkness. It does nothing whatsoever to it. It does not heal it, correct it, change it, or remove it. It simply reveals that there is no darkness." That is what tonight is all about. Welcome to the Let the Light Shine In stained glass dedication event in honor of our minister, Reverend Beverly Bockover. My name is Melanie. I'm your service leader tonight.
But first, there was a woman who died, and she found herself standing in front of the pearly gates. And as she stood there, St. Peter said, "Well, you can't come in unless you correctly spell a word." And she thought for a minute. She wasn't a very good speller, so she said, "Well, what word?" And he said, "Any word you want." And so she spelled love, L-O-V-E. And so he gave her a big hug, opened the pearly gates, and she came in. And he said to her, he said, "Would you do me a favor? Would you just be here for the next hour? I've got to take care of some business, but I need somebody at the gates. And if somebody shows up, you follow the same rules. You just have them spell a word and have them follow the same rules that you just did." And so she said, "Sure." So she sat there for a little while, and all of a sudden she sees her ex-husband coming. She kind of shook her head and sighed, she's going, "Oh no." And she looks at him, she says, "Well, what are you doing here?" And he said, "Well, I had a heart attack." And he said, then he said, "Did I really make it to heaven?" And she just looked at him for a minute, and she goes, "Well, not quite yet. You have to correctly spell a word." So he looked at her and he said, "Well, what word?" And she got this devilish look on her face. And she said, "Czechoslovakia." Yeah.
That is quintessential Rev Bev. Equal parts humor and wisdom, serenity and laughter, prayerfulness and playfulness, and always, always this love and love of life. 1 year ago tomorrow, July 30th, Reverend Beverly Bockover made her transition. And what a year it has been. It has been a year of heartbreaking sadness, but also breathtaking loving kindness. It's been a year of toughness and tenderness, hurting and healing. And we have lived this year exactly right. We did what Bev told us. Yea, though we walked through the valley of the shadow of death, we did not pitch our tents and stayed there. No, we walked right on through. We remembered what she taught us, that her passing was not here to break us, but to break us open, to find even more love, more peace, more community, and yes, even more joy. Yes, even in this. And we are practicing Bev's principal teaching, which is to find God in all things, to find love, to find peace, to find comfort, and to find even joy. Even joy. And so that's what tonight is all about. We are dedicating this beautiful new stained glass entry in the spirit of resilience and beauty and hope and optimism, those qualities that are Reverend Beverly Bockover, but also those qualities that are us and Unity Church of Raleigh. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to kick it off with the conversation with the stained glass team at Unity Church of Raleigh. And they're going to tell us what those images signify and what this process was all about. So tell us about how this came about.
Hi, everybody. When the idea for a memorial came about last fall for board consideration, I was honored to lead the effort. Of course, my inspiration for the project all along was Bev's remarkable legacy that she left with us at UCR. Her steadfast support and her love, and my knowledge that she was and she will always be a genuine truth leader. And that, for me, was very meaningful. And so my great I am within says very clearly to me, stained glass, front entry. And so I followed that. And I pitched the idea to the board and they went along with it. And then, of course, I approached all you wonderful guys, and you guys didn't object to it, thought it was a great idea. And so we decided to roll with it and create something beautiful and something impactful and something long lasting. So, of course, the project transpired in perfect order, in my opinion, from beginning to end. When I went out on the web search, custom design and glass studios just jumped right out at me. And I think I remembered emailing Melanie and saying, hey, should we check out this place? And so all of us ended up meeting with their design team. We took a tour of their facility, and they were very professional. They had a wonderful portfolio of work, and I think we were all very impressed with it. And we thought they could deliver something that was truly amazing. Mm-hmm. So in January, when we got ready to order it, the funds were there, thank goodness. And thanks to our Super Sunday fundraiser, the funds were there when we needed them. And even in this pandemic that we're going through now, the timeline unfolded beautifully. And of course, we all know if the installation happened a few days ago. Mm-hmm. And I'm very grateful for that. So all of that was in God's perfect timing. And so I am delightful that you all love Bev enough to be able to support this effort. And on behalf of the Board of Trustees, I just want to give a special thanks to you, Cherry, and Dancing Moon Bookstore for your generous financial support. I don't think we could have done it without you, and we truly love you and appreciate that.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and Greg, I love you and just want you to know that I'm thinking of you and your family during this month, and send you my best wishes as well. So last, I just want to say that we all know that Rev Bev's notorious "but first" was so funny and joyful, and we got a lot of laughter out of them. And so now, whenever we enter that front door to UCR, we are going to see something that's truly beautiful and amazing, and we will all be touched by this original artwork that we see when we first enter our church. So I am calling it our "but first," because that's the first thing we're going to see when we walk through that door.
I love that name, "but first." That is awesome, Mary. Thanks.
Yes, yes. So that's going to be my "but first" when I walk into UCR from now on. I love it. And I can't wait for everybody to be able to come by and to see it in person. So I'm going to stop for now. I love you all.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the experience, because it was funny. I was talking to somebody the other night and I said, wow, when we started this stained glass committee experience, it was cold out. And I remember going to the studio and I would always have my coat on and it would be raining and cold, and we'd all be taking off gloves and sitting down in that space full of color and light and beauty, and just talking. And the other thing that I loved was that we were talking about a person we all love so much, and we would smile and we'd talk about Bev and we'd share memories and we'd talk about things she loved or things we had learned. So those are just a couple of the things regarding the experience. And also the sketch artist. I loved that everything we said, that amazing person would start drawing and then show us a picture, and we all, I know she loved us, we'd all go, yes, we love it.
That's right.
In terms of the experience.
The wonderful part of this gathering for me was that we really did have a meeting of the minds, because Bev somehow was there guiding us.
Mhm.
Her ability to be the authority and yet hand it to you and let you do what you wanted to. Her whole life to me was like that. And so all of these images that are on this stained glass, each one of them talks about a guardianship. I went to Animal Speak, Ted Andrews, and he talks about the animals that we knew that she loved. So I'm just going to give you an example of one.
Please.
Okay.
The wolf. The wolf is guardianship, ritual, loyalty, spirit, but it's the epitome of the wild spirit. Nobody knows that about Bev, do they, Greg?
Well, yeah, well, she married me, so
Well, there must be some indication, right?
we all related with the dogs, the wolves, and
I love that.
Also with the wolf, I love the idea of community and pack and
Yeah.
that togetherness. And also I think, Mary, you had talked about earlier, freedom, that
Yes.
complete freedom, which also speaks to that wildness.
yeah,
That's-
I don't think we were married a year and we got our first dog, which was in the wolf family. In fact, we called him Wolf.
Oh.
He was with us for a good while,
Mhm.
and we ended up with a total of 4. We're down to 1 now, but thank God she's a full-bred shepherd. But we've always had wolves in the house. So
So perfect to have that in the stained glass.
yeah.
Yes.
That's
With what others, Jerry?
Well, you have the hawk, which is in his book, The Mystical and Intriguing of the Birds of Prey. It is the most mystical. Isn't that perfect? It's the messenger and protector with visionary powers. And yes, Bev was all this, but I think she, because of her teaching, she shared it with us and really gave us the uplifting kind of thoughts around it. So Hawk was perfect for her too.
Yeah, she would always, I don't know how she did it, but I mean, she would be driving down the road and when I was driving, she'd go, "Did you see that?" And I go, "No, I'm watching the road." But she would see a hawk from, 10 miles away, and it'd be like 3 or 4 of them. And she would just be in awe. How do you do that? But I remember,
Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
I remember the day after she passed away, I came back to the house and she told me she made it okay because there was a hawk feather on the ground right where I was standing talking on the phone, and it was like so clear. It was perfect.
It's beautiful. So the hawk is I feel
very big part.
It's a central part of this glass, which is beautiful.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome.
What else, Terry?
The last one I wrote down was about the dove, and it is the feminine energies of peace and prophecy.
Wow.
So I don't know exactly what that means, but it's prominent in, we all thought that the dove, the hawk, the dog, wolf needed to be in there. But and then, so you all will have to talk about the water, the river, the trees, the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, one
It's
thing,
all in there.
of course, the dove is the unity symbol, the unity dove, which I think is a nice tandem symbol. Okay, so the mountains, Greg, we know the affinity for mountains.
Yeah, we have a place up in Maggie Valley, and we never got there as often as we wanted to, but whenever we did, it was sure a great break for us. And we had a stream going through one side and trees all over the place, and we'd take the dogs up there, and it was just a wonderful place to commune and a little respite. And we had go out for drives in the mountains, and it was just very refreshing. And of course, Bev loved the mountains, all along. She took trips out to the mountains out in the out west, with the Grand Tetons and Wyoming and all the places out there that were just spectacular landscapes. And
Alaska, when she was this picture I have behind me.
yeah,
Can you all see that?
Yes.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I love that.
She
yeah,
was the leader, but of our trips, but mainly she was the wild spirit. That's what I want you. I can't say it enough.
yeah.
Greg knows that, but I'm not telling the choir.
He was a beauty.
We know that she loved the mountains and that they resonated with her, but I like the spiritual symbolism of the mountains too, as the mountaintop and the higher consciousness. And I also love, Bev always talked about faith, and I love that faith. Even the tiniest mustard seed of faith you could say to a mountain, move from here to there, and it will do it. And I just love that our people we're all going to walk into a place that says your faith pays off here. Your faith can do all things here. So I love that.
Really good one. That but first,
Oh, I love that. First. Luis, which icon or part of the art did you really love?
Well, now that I'm living with it, it's a whole different aspect, right? So I had a feeling this morning, I guess, when I came in and looking at it, and it's such a paradise, the picture of outdoors and the animals and all the things that she loved, and we all love too, rivers and mountains and everything like that. Oh wait, now I'm losing my track of mine here.
I love the arch, the 12 powers arch.
Thank you, please, thank you. The arch, that was the thing that got me this morning, because I've been featuring on the different aspects of the artwork. And I remember, I believe it was you, Greg, that had the idea towards the end of our creative meetings to put the 12 powers up. And then they took it on and did it so very well, not like, dumb, I would have done like, block, 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 block. But they, created it around. And so for me, I look at it now and I go like, this is not where I'm at. I'm living in this paradise with a guidepost, the 12 powers that help me fly away, so it's doing what it's supposed to do.
And we're very jealous of you.
Yeah,
I know.
Every day. I love that.
The only trouble is I can't see when people come to the front door, and now it's making me a little nervous. I can't see who's coming up.
Well, you're going to be way enlightened.
Absolutely. You're safe and protected there. Two other parts that I really like, the trees, and we know with the water, and we know that Bev's favorite book in the Bible was the Revelation, and she always talked about those trees planted on either side of the river in the New Jerusalem that had 12 fruits that would heal mankind, and I love that message of hope. And the other thing I was thinking about was the door, the way the door is centered, and the stream, the door opens and you're in the stream. And I love the idea. That brought up three things. Of course, water is healing. And I thought about baptism, but I also thought about walking on water. And every time somebody comes into our building or goes out, they're going to be walking on water, doing as Jesus did, which he said we can do all things that he did and more. And I just love the notion that we're all going to be just walking on water with that higher consciousness that Unity teaches us and that Bev shared and exemplified so beautifully.
One of the other things that I really like about it too is at the very base of the windows, there's these beautiful rocks. And Bev always talked about building on a strong foundation.
Yeah.
And these beautiful rocks are just at the base. That's the foundation that she talked about so much. And we are definitely on a strong foundation here at UCR, and I
Yes, we are.
love that.
Thanks
Me,
for saying that.
it's perfect. Any other final comments, everyone? I think everyone, every person who is getting ready to see the slideshow and everyone who sees that, I'm not calling it a stained glass entry. I'm calling it the butt first work of art. It's the most beautiful thing I have seen. I think everyone will be transformed.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, you really need to see it up close and personal.
Yes.
And I've been like putting that foyer back in place, and I think we need a bench instead of the chairs, and I'm working on having that round conference room be more open so the doors are never shut, so we have a bigger room to view the masterpiece from. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
So we've got a phase 2 in the works here.
All coming together.
Stay tuned. Thank you, team. It was an honor to serve with you, but it was also fun. It was fun to exercise that creative muscle and do this beautiful thing for one of the finest people we know.
Yes.
So thank you. Blessings to you and blessings to everyone who is a part of this. If you are a part of our spiritual family, whether you know it or not, you are, and this stained glass is just going to change your life and make you happy.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our church homecoming would have happened a few weeks ago. This is a time when we share our love for each other and our spiritual community. Well, we decided to share with you now a video of a very special performance by Rev Bev and Greg at homecoming a few years ago when we were at Amran. Now, this performance perfectly captures what Cherry calls Rev Bev's wild spirit. Enjoy.
I got you, babe. I got you, babe. They say our love won't be the best before it's found out money love is changed. I guess that's so we don't have a plot, but at least I'm sure of everything we got. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got flowers in the spring. I got you. Wear my ring. And when I'm sad, you're around. And if I get scared, you're always around. Yes, Lord, I don't care right now. They put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hell or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, hold my hand. I got you to understand. I got you, walk with me. I got you to talk with me. I got you to kiss goodnight. I got you to hold me tight. I got you, I won't let go. I got you to love me so. I got you, babe. I got you, babe. I got you, babe.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sherry Gaines friend and student of Reverend Beverly's for 30 years. And today, as we honor her presence in our lives and her service and dedication to Unity Church of Raleigh, I'm honored to share a few of her core teachings that have taken root in my heart and mind. For me, Beverly's great gift and the essence from which her core lessons derived was the deep understanding of the consciousness of truth as expressed in the life and teachings of Christ Jesus. And this truth, that we are divinity in expression, was woven into every class, every talk, every encounter that I and so many others ever had with Rev Bev. She was always reminding us to ask, seek, and knock on the door of our inner Christ, to bring into manifestation our light for all to see. Some of her pearls of wisdom include: live from center to circumference. Don't pray to God, pray in God and from God. Live from your mighty I am presence. You are the presence and the power that God is. Claim your divine inheritance, the abundance which was from the beginning and shall ever be. Prepare and tend the sacred soil of your soul to receive the blessings of peace, joy, health, and prosperity as a divine child of God. God is the gift and the giver. So now, I would like for us to close our eyes, come into our heart center, and enter the silence at the center of our being as we reflect on these precious pearls from our dear friend and teacher. So maybe just bring your hands to your heart, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, exhale and relax as we remember the teachings and the wisdom. Coming back to the present moment. Let's remember just how very, very blessed we are to have the life and the teachings of Reverend Beverly with us forever, guiding our way to truth, to light, and to love. So be it, and so it is. Namaste.
Everybody needs a hand to hold on to. We're all just looking for a way to make it through. One day we feel so all alone. The next day we feel like we've come home. Letting the sunlight in, letting it all begin again, letting it stream on in, breathing in Cast off our shades of doubt and let the sunlight in. Let the sunlight in. Welcome to this sacred space. May it be a place of prayer. There's beauty in this place for all to share. We held your vision and fulfilled our plans. Out of your heart and through our hands. But letting the sunlight in, letting it all begin again, letting it stream on in, filling each of us. We'll shake off the dust and let the sunlight in. Let the sunlight in. Of all the colors in these windows, I think you'll agree. Love is the only color you'll be able to see. Letting the sunlight in. Letting the sunlight in. We're letting the sunlight in, letting it all begin again, letting it stream on in. Our love will never end. And when the moon descends, we'll let the sunlight in, let the sunlight in. We'll let the sunlight in. Let the sunlight in.